Hey everybody, it's Chris and I'm here with Dave Huet, producer of the YouTube channel. Once again, we're doing our second in a two-parter in which we're looking at fantasy relevant players at skill positions for 2021 and also just kind of talking about them as prospects. If you're a fan of their team, that's interesting too. I'll stop talking and say hello to Dave Huet. How are you?
Good. Hello, Chris. We talked before this of I felt like there's so many wide receivers here. And maybe, I mean, that's the story we talk about with fantasy wide receivers all the time, where I had a hard time maybe picking them out. I'm going to need you to help me stratify.
And that's actually a great way to set this up. I'll just say also, as at the start here, maybe just remind people to hit the subscribe button. It does really help. Basically, if there's one free way you can help the channel, just hit the subscribe button. Okay. Stratify. I mean, it is the point. It's the essential problem with fantasy receivers in the modern game. There's 3 receivers sets are the base formation in the NFL. There's just a hell of a lot of them that play. And for me, it's led to kind of a trickle down where, because these guys, let's face it, were all complete studs in college. And of course they look great in their college film. And of course they tested great at their pro days. Dave, there was no combine. Do you think everybody runs a 4.3 now? Because they do at their pro day. My feeling is that you just get so much inflation when it comes to rookie wide receivers. It's just a very, very difficult position to come in the NFL and dominate at. And frankly, I think there's a little Justin Jefferson syndrome going on where everybody's supposed to walk right in and be a top 10 fantasy player right away. It doesn't usually happen.
No, but so we're going to go through the ranks. At the top of the list is probably the best shot at someone being an alpha. We think it's JaMarr Chase. You've got him 28 standard, 29 PPR. So he lands in Cincinnati. How are we feeling about JaMarr?
Yeah, college team of Jefferson's, right? So there's the comparison right there. And my guess is, like I usually am with rookies in redraft leagues, I tend to be a little bit lower on them than the market. And my guess, now we're recording this pretty early in August, and I don't really pay a lot of attention to average draft position for a while. I know that's how fantasy is mostly covered, Dave, and I'm just, I'll tell you about value once we all start drafting. For now, I'd like to just kind of mostly focus on what I think of players and not worrying so much of how the market's wrong on that guy. There's so much time for that. We're not drafting any of us until, August 20 something. So let's just talk about the players. So JaMarr Chase is a really special player. And last I saw him, like we didn't get to see him last year, but there's a chance that he's absolutely great. And I do have him rated the highest among all Bengals receivers, but I like T. Higgins very much too. And it's hard for me to say completely sight unseen, I'm positive JaMarr Chase comes into the league, really good size, good speed, not like great, but excellent route runner, really good hands, great body control, the best wide receiver prospect in this draft. I don't think there's much argument. And tell you that T. Higgins, who doesn't share all those qualities, but has some speed and has some size and has a year under his belt, I can't tell you I'm positive Chase is like leagues above. And then, unfortunately, I can't tell you that I think Joe Burrow is so awesome that he's going to sustain 2 top 15 wide receivers. They both kind of land in that, are they a wide receiver 2? Are they a wide receiver 3? That's sort of where I am with Chase.
But Joe Burrow was his college teammate. That automatically means everything's going to work out, Chris.
That's what I hear. That's what they tell me. And it could. I mean, we're recording this. We happen to be recording this like a day or two after the headline stopping moment of somebody, a beat reporter in Cincinnati, saying Joe Burrow's looked awful and the offense has been terrible. But we'll also take that with somewhat of a grain of salt. Hopefully that gets better. But I will say it's a rare case that I'm going to be actually watching those preseason games to see if that continues.
That makes sense. We listen to some of the negative. I want to take a quick second because you probably won't plug the Almanac, but I want to. We were talking about JaMarr Chase on the Almanac. You gave guys ranges, right? And his range was 12 to 40. So it's just, I mentioned that to say like 12's a pretty high possibility. So that's a way of saying like, if we're coming in saying there's another guy that we like there and maybe not the quarterback, we are still optimistic on there. It's just kind of, it's both sides. It's a rookie wide receiver.
Range. There's high ceilings and low floors. It's just the nature of the beast. Hey, let's take a second and thank today's sponsor of our channel, Fantrax. Great place to host your league, the most customizable fantasy platform in the world. You've heard us talk a lot about Fantrax. Well, they really want you to play there. So here's what they're doing. They are sending one entire league to an NFL game. Everyone in the league gets a game day ticket, airfare, and hotel. That is pretty fun. So here's all you have to do. If you don't have a Fantrax account, go to fantrax.com/Harris and make one, and then make a new league, invite your friends, join an active league, or bring over your existing league from another platform for free. If you're in a Fantrax league, your league is entered, and the more leagues you start or join, the better your chances. The winning league will be chosen September 21st, and Fantrax will send everyone in that league to an NFL game. Sign up for a Fantrax account at fantrax.com/Harris and join a bunch of leagues for more chances to be in the winning league. Pretty darn fun.
All right, we're getting back to our list of wide receivers. But first, I want to talk about not a wide receiver. Kyle Pitts got drafted. Yeah, pass catchers. The tight ends are, not all tight ends are a dime a dozen, but we've done the fantasy tight end game. And I think that's led to people being really excited about Kyle Pitts. I'm doing him here because you have him ranked 75 overall, which puts him above of the other wide receivers.
Right.
How excited are you about Kyle Pitts?
So of course I'm excited, and I'm not going to have him in any single league this year. Yeah. So let's separate the fantasy strategy from just the excitement of the player. I didn't love the draft pick because I think Atlanta could easily have gotten their quarterback of the future, and I don't think Matt Ryan is completely cooked, but I think he's on the back nine, and maybe he sees the clubhouse from where he is. And there were some good prospects that I would have liked. Justin Fields would look mighty good in Atlanta to me. So okay, you make the pick, and it's the highest pick ever for a tight end, and I completely understand it. You're talking about a tight end sized human being who runs like a wide receiver, who catches passes like a wide receiver, who can maybe not run complicated outside routes like a wide receiver, but that's okay. He's a big slot right away and probably very good. Should I talk about the fantasy strategy part of it now, Dave?
Please. I think people would like that.
So the worry is that just this doesn't usually ever happen. I think since 2000, have there been any top 5 rookie fantasy tight ends, any to finish? There are, I think, 2 to finish in the top 10 of all the first round tight ends taken in the 20 years. Basically 21 drafts or whatever since 2000. We've had 2 finished. I think it's maybe it's 2 out of 33 or 3 out of 30. It just doesn't normally happen. And okay, so you can say though, why am I comparing him to Hayden Hurst or whoever? He's a better prospect, so he should have a better than 2 in 33 chance. It's just such a hard position to learn. It's famously, other than quarterback, the hardest position to be a contributor right away in. And I just know that I'm not going to be the one to get him. I have him rated as what, like a 6th round pick, and I just 6th or 7th, I guess. And I don't think he ever lasts that long, and I think I'm probably okay with it.
Yeah, I think you're probably okay. I mean, in reading the profile in the Almanac, you have the research project for what we were hinting at of, Evan Ingram was the only tight end, not the only, but you could read it. That really put a splash of cold water on it for me. We did a video about Kyle Pitts. I'll link it here if you guys want to check it out. He's a fun player, but rookie, you wrote in the profile, people don't just say rookie tight end is hard for their health. They're doing it for a reason. And it made me even move him down a little of boy, Chris has really been excited about Dallas Goedert. If he goes God mode, after years of saying I think he's talented, I was I'm going to stay away from the rookie. I'm going to back away a little bit.
Well, what I'd say about that is we're recording this with where the Eagles still have the 2 big name tight ends, but the moment Zach Ertz, if he does wind up getting traded or cut or something, Goddard goes ahead of Pitts for me.
Yeah, exactly. That shifts it. And then let's shift back to wide receiver. Let's talk about a Heisman winner. Next we got DeVonta Smith, lands in Philly, the perfect situation. For all pass catching and quarterback. I'm making that joke. We did a Jalen Hurts video. If you guys haven't watched it, that's where I'm giving the Eagles a little hard time. What do you feel about DeVonta Smith, the player, not the situation?
Yeah, obviously, incredibly super polished prospect, comes into the league. I mean, Marvin Harrison was my comparison for him. Just the pro, not going to kill you with size, not going to run you over, just going to run the best route you've ever seen and stop, and you're not going to know where he's going and be open all the time. Love the prospect of his career and feel in a dynasty league, if you took him 2, frankly, I wouldn't be mad. He's in the conversation to be among the best. I like Chase more than him as a prospect, but if you made the argument the other way, I get it because of coming in with the league with that ability to get open right away. I think if we start talking about what we imagine the Philly situation is going to be, it has to leaven it a little bit. You might not remember this, Huet, but when we did this last year, we talked about this kid named Jalen Reagor, who got taken by which team? The Eagles. In what round? The first round. Not quite as high, but Reagor didn't do a lot, but he was banged up and he's there. And I don't necessarily, as people have seen in the Hurts video that you just pumped, I need to see a lot of improvement before I'm going to believe two receivers in Philadelphia are going to be really great stat producers. And then there's also the problem that early in August, DeVonta Smith hurt a hamstring and is going to miss a significant chunk of training camp, and that lowered him in my ranks a little bit. It's probably also just going to make his price a little more reasonable, so I could probably imagine having him on some teams.
Yeah, I mean, lowering the price makes sense. Your almanac range for him was about 24 to 40. So if you're getting it, right now you've got him 37 in standard. So if that brings the price down to the lower end of the range, then, I mean, as much as you can feel comfortable about a rookie and then a rookie Eagle, I guess, it makes me feel a little more comfortable.
Sure.
Next up, we've got DeVonta Smith's teammate, Jaylen Waddle. He lands in Miami. You've got him 45 in standard, 50 in PPR.
Yeah.
What do you think of Waddle?
So his boosters are going to tell you Tyreek Hill. His boosters are going to tell you pure speed, just the fastest guy in college. You made the good point that other people have made to me previously before we started, which is that, DeVonta Smith won the Heisman, but if Jaylen Waddle hadn't gotten hurt, it's very possible that he was on the one on the pace to do it, and he missed the end of his last year at Alabama. So of course, do we love guys who can't be covered when they run straight lines? Yeah, we love the idea. And we talked another dude on this video. I can't remember what school he went to. Oh, that's right, Alabama. I can't remember what round he got taken in. Oh, that's right, first. What's that guy's name? Henry Ruggs. So there's pure speed doesn't always translate to immediate production. Sometimes it never translates to production. So, once again, we're going to have people just excited about the combine score that isn't even a combine score and maybe reach a little more than I want to. I don't think Waddle comes into the league with anything like the polish of DeVonta Smith as a route runner, but you don't have to use him that way. He's not going to face a lot of press man coverage. They're going to put him all over the formation. They're going to put him in the slot. They're going to match him up in zones and advantageous man situations and try to get him in the open field. It probably leads to a very up and down season that maybe the overall numbers will look better than it felt to have him on a team. And then, Miami has a lot of guys. The Dolphins, the quarterback is a question mark as much as I'm still in the tank for Tua, but they have Will Fuller coming back week 2 after his suspension. He's got blazing speed. Devontae Parker's not crazy fast, but he's there. Mike Gesicki, very fast for a tight end. It shapes up as a unit that if Tua winds up being what I hope he is, or he winds up being good, there's upside for all of them, but there's a lot of guys there.
Yeah, I'm much more excited about the first guys we talked about. I think maybe it's like they've got mercurial wide receivers in Miami, and now the whole situation just feels that way, where I'm having a hard time saying like he's going to run away with it. But I'm also not the expert.
Well, he's not going to run away with it. But none of these guys. DeVonta Smith's not going to run away with it. I don't think JaMarr Chase is going to run away. It's not really the NFL anymore. Justin Jefferson didn't really even run away with it last year. Who scored all the touchdowns? It was Adam Thielen. That's just that's almost not where we should even be looking for. The people are not going to come in and establish themselves as Michael Irvin, and no one else can even get 600 yards receiving. It's really not the league anymore. So in some respects, that takes pressure off of these kids, because to have a good season, they could go 60 catches, 800 yards, and 6 touchdowns, and that's going to be wide receiver 30, and it's going to be a good season. And I think that's probably in range for everybody we've mentioned so far.
Well, that's a good way to frame it, because I want to take some pressure off Elijah Moore, because he lands with the Jets, and he's a Jets player. But my favorite thing about this is, if you're a real Harris football nerd, me here, he's 59 standard, 59 PPR, 137 overall, and then 135. I was hoping he was going to have the same ranks across the board. Just this one little unicorn that just got slotted in the same way. No one cares about this, but I do. I laughed about it.
It's the harmonic convergence of Harris.
Oh, I like it. So what do you think of Elijah Moore besides the harmonic convergence?
So I know that he has a lot of people are very excited about him, and I think it's easier for me to just talk about situation and not worry as much about the player, and I'm not going to do that because the Jets, as we've said in another video here, that they strike me as one of those offenses that I can maybe put a little dimmer switch on everybody's fantasy potential because there's a lot of names and there's a lot of unknowns about how the offense is going to look, and it's a rookie quarterback, and I just don't think the offense is likely to be very good. But let's focus on Moore. Smaller guy. I have presumed to this point that he would be a slot guy, but I also thought once the Jets drafted him, they would get rid of Jamison Crowder. They still could get rid of Crowder. If they don't, it would seem that means they like Elijah Moore on the outside. And could he be like a DJ Moore type, the Steve Smith type, the Christian Kirk type? Like that's a wide range. You'd rather he be more like the former than the latter. He's a little guy, but he does have sort of the rocked up physique, and he's pretty fast, and he's pretty quick in the open field. I know his enthusiasts think he's more than that. They think he's more than pretty fast. They think he's more than pretty quick in the open field and want to believe that his athletic traits are simply going to shine right away. I'm just going to reserve judgment. I didn't watch the video that we did. You can link to the video that we did about him. And I didn't watch all that stuff and go, of course, is he blowing away, the future gym teachers of America and the SEC? Yeah. But I didn't see the guy that was like a totally undeniable prospect. So if he's going to catch a lot of helium in his rank through the rest of August, I'm probably going to let it go by.
Yeah, I will too. This is like a reviewing my own notes thing where one of the things I wrote down was he ran a 4.32, and I don't normally write down someone's 40 speed. And if that was the big thing that I walked away with, that's where it makes me go like, oh, sometimes you get burned here. Yeah.
Also, where did he do that? What was his official time? Oh, that's right. He doesn't have one, because there's no combine. And we all know when there is a combine, we all know to ignore the pro days because they go, oh, really fast, Elijah, really fast. Like they just, that's me pushing the button twice real fast. So like, it's not to say he's not fast. We showed the video. He shows out as definitely having real speed. He's going to burn some people. I'm not positive that he's like this all world, Ted Ginn type sprinter.
This weird world where we're complimenting the combine and having something better times. Whoa, what do we do?
The underwear Olympics.
All right, I'm not trying to keep the viewers here for like hours, but there are a lot more wide receivers we talked at the start that landed in a lot of other places. Can we kind of touch on that? Maybe we won't dissect them all, but I know Rashod Bateman.
People love Rashod Bateman.
Yeah.
People love Rashod Bateman out of Minnesota. He went to Baltimore. It's easy to poo-poo that situation too. I'm going to try not to. I think what people like about Bateman is that he's kind of that combination of the big. He's not Denzel Mims big. He's not Chase Claypool big. Like he's not the kind of, oh my God, if this guy can just not fall down, he should be able to catch the ball. That's the Rashad Perriman theory, and then he couldn't not fall down. But also comes in with really polished skills, really great ball skills, and ready to go. And I think people just have probably in the redraft have just fallen in love with the idea of him a little more than they should have. I hate feeling like all I do is come on the rookie video and throw cold water on guys. But if Rashod Bateman's going in the single digit rounds, it's just too early because it's a hard thing to do to come in the league and be good. There are other Sammy Watkins is starring in camp. Hollywood Brown has been hurt in camp, and that's given Bateman a chance to play. But I'm just gonna kind of. I won't spend as much time on everybody else, but I know what a big name and how much people really, really like Rashod Bateman. I'm very bullish on his dynasty stock. Lamar Jackson being the quarterback, obviously that's not a huge help. A bunch of slot guys. Kadarius Tony for the Giants. Early pick for a team that already had Sterling Shepard. I kind of thought Sterling Shepard might be on the move, and he's not, and so I'm just going to sort of file him away. I kind of liked him as a prospect, but does feel like kind of a poor landing spot. People love Rondale Moore. Every more there is, dude. Every more there is, people love. Now, if Christian Kirk didn't get his 5th-year option picked up, and so if Christian Kirk winds up getting traded or being on the move, okay, the Cardinals are 4 wide more than any other team in the league, and it's not close. It's like 220 snaps, and the next closest is like 30. Other than DeAndre Hopkins, you can have them all. Like I don't trust any of them. There's too many of them on the field at any given time. Amari Rodgers, a smaller slot guy out of Green Bay, which I was a little more interested in before Aaron Rodgers demanded that they get Randall Cobb.
Get my Bubby back.
as long as Randall Cobb is there, it's hard for me to imagine Amari Rodgers. He feels like the smaller, quicker slot type guy. Interested in him, but yeah, not probably for this year for redraft. Terrace Marshall, he's kind of more of the big slot, maybe replacing like the Curtis Samuel place in the lineup, but he's really not very much like Curtis Samuel in Carolina. Good. Like let's watch. Let's see. Maybe the big slot develops into a thing. I had one more name. Oh, Nico Collins. I only added him to my list so you could talk about it because I know we just did a mock draft and you took him.
Yeah, I was so excited to take him and find he didn't even have a profile in the almanac, and I went, oh no, what have I done? Well, at least he's still in the league.
Right. Yeah, I took somebody who wasn't in the league. So, Nico Collins really didn't even he got trapped in Michigan at the University of Michigan. You're in the state of Michigan, and it's just a non-functioning pass offense, and people have been complimentary of him and in a receiving core that's a total mess in Houston, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's wait and see. Thank you all for joining us today. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. You get more of this. You can get me, taking Nico Collins and being unsure. It's great. Please leave a comment. Share on social media if you want. Thank you, Chris, for helping me wade through, stratify these. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment. Tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on. And of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.